Alright guys, so I'll go into the transformations of the girl requested, right? So the first thing I want to get out of the way is the types of lines, right? So there are different types of lines that you already need to know about. The first one is something equal to something. So let's have x is equal to something, so say x is equal to 2. Or if they give you y is equal to 3 or something like that, right? So if they say the line x is equal to 2, this x, telling you the axis it cut in. So there's the axis being cut. Alright, it's the same thing with y. Okay, so let's use one example. And then this is at what number? So for example, in this one, they say cutting a line x is equal to 2. So if you draw a scale, you have an x-axis and a y-axis, right? So if they told you that the line x is equal to 2, so what it cutting? The x-axis at what point? 2. So therefore, if this is 1 and this is 2, we are on the x-axis, and they say it cutting x at 2. So let's draw the line going through 2. And that is the line x is equal to 2. If they said it cutting at the line y is equal to 3, same thing. What is cutting? The y-axis at what? 3. So if you go on the y-axis, so there's 1, 2, and 3. And they said that it cuts the y-axis at 3. So just cut it at 3. Alright, so obviously line will be a little straighter. But let me see if I can get straight. Alright, so cutting on the line y is equal to 3. And it's the same thing they will do. All this basically gives you is something called a mirror line for reflections. So anytime they tell you reflects or reflect something, you need to know what is the axis or the plane that you're reflecting and so on, right? So that's basically the types of lines. The line y is equal to x, and let's have the others. Alright, so let's continue. So the first thing, as I said, would be the reflections. So just like how we did before, a reflection, and you're just reflecting it, right? So watch it. Go draw up XY plane, and they give me this box here. Alright, so say the one that to reflect it in the line x is equal to -2. So remember I showed you this is -1, there's -2. And if I'm cutting it at -2, it would just be a line cutting the x at -2. Alright, and there's the line there. There's the mirror line. So now, if I go and reflect, remember, for a reflection, the distance from each point had to be the same. So this point, this point, this point, this point. So the distances of all the points from the line have to be the same, and you just reflect it over on the other side. So if this here, and then we have a next piece, which is this piece here, and this piece here. So if from here to here is 1, that means we're going it over on the next side. Copy it across, and just copy it across. You just copy the distances they have from the mirror line itself. Alright, so then we have this here, and then we have this here. You just draw back over the shape. Just literally copy it across. If you was to fold the page, they will literally overlap on each other. Alright, so that is something called a reflection. So for a reflection, you need the mirror line, and to do it, the easiest way to do it, count the amount of boxes each point of the shape you're reflecting is from the mirror line, and just copy across the distance on the other side. Alright, so that is reflection. So the other thing that you need to know about is something called a slide. So slide is just a trans other side. Yeah, so if you have a shape here and you wanna slide it, so that it will give you how to left, right, up, down, Don't tell it. So if I wanna translate this three spaces, so I wanna play it to the right. Three spaces right and then two down. So remember, I'm moving the entire shape, right? So if I'm moving the entire shape, the easiest way to do it is to, just like reflection, you just move each point of the shape the same distance as I draw it back over. So say 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so each point again move 3 spaces to the right and 2 spaces down. So if I start with this one, so we just go 3 spaces, count the 3 boxes and 2 spaces down. So this will be the new one. So I just label it. So there's A, B, C, and D. So anytime you translate something, it will go to the prime. So this will be A prime. Or you can label it whatever you want. So that A prime. So let's go to D. So 3 spaces and 2 spaces down. So this will be D prime. Alright, and now you go to B. So B go in 3 spaces and then 2 spaces down. So this will be B. And then C will be the same thing. So you go in 3 spaces and 3 spaces. So this will be C prime. So now all you're gonna do is connect the dots. So let's see, start, and I draw over the new shape. So let's connect it together. And that'll be the entire shape, slided 3 spaces to the right and 2 spaces down. So all you have to do is move each point the same spaces that I wanted it to move, and just redraw the shape. Okay, so that is really all you really have to do. Alright, and that is the last. And then the other one is something called enlargement, which we did already. So enlargement is basically again bigger or small. So if I have a plane, right, and they give me some points. So enlargement, all you need to do for enlargement, you just multiply the point or the coordinate by the same value. So if this was, say, -2, 2, and this was -4, -4, and this point here was -2, 1, and this point here was -4, -2. So we have 4 points. And so we wanted to enlarge it by a factor 2. So basically go and get 2 times bigger. All you have to do is just multiply each coordinate by the scale factor. So let's multiply this by 2, multiply this by 2, multiply this by 2, and multiply this by 2. So you'll get an enlarged shape. So the new shape, -4 by 2 is -8. So -8, -4 by 2 is -8. That is 1 point being enlarged. The next point is this one here. So -2 by 2, get -4. And 2 by 2 is 4. Underneath, -2 by 2 is -4. And 2 by 1, 1 by 2 is, so let's multiply it out. And the last point was -4 by 2 is -8. And -2 by 2 is -4. Alright, and just like before, after you multiply by the enlargement factor, you just join up the new points. Alright, and that is enlarged. Right, if they wanted it to shrink it, instead of multiplying, you just divide the coordinates by the value. Alright, and that is all with translations. Alright, so let's go across to the past papers. Alright, so let's go. We have this question here. So the diagram below shows the triangle OPQ. Okay, so they give you the triangle, they give you a little plane. So let's go. So the coordinates of the point Q, well, this is the easiest one, right? So you have to look where Q. So Q is right here. So if you look Q on the x-axis is 4, on the y-axis is 1, right? Easy. So now the second to know what to do. The line PQ is mapped to P prime, Q prime, okay, by an enlargement of scale factor 3. So remember, we need an enlargement. All you need to do is multiply the coordinates at each point by the scale factor. So let's implement, and they said that it's centered at 0. So therefore that point not going to change. So let's go. So what is P? So first you need the coordinates at each point. So P is 2 and 2. And then Q is 4. And you don't need to change this because remember they said it's centered at the origin. And even if you try to multiply that by 3, you're still going to get 0. So not really going to change. So to get the scale factor, well, the scale factor is 3. So let's multiply this by 3, and then multiply this by 3. That's all I could do before. So 4 by 3 is 12, and 3 by 1 is 3. So the new point for this will be right here. So that is 12, 3. That's multiply the point before by 3. And then the points on top is 2, 2. So 2 by 3 is 6, and 2 by 3 is 6. So the new point will be right here. Not there, that is 5. It will be higher. So that is up here. Alright, so now we just join up here your lines. Alright, so just connect that, connect that, and that is your shape. Alright, 6, 6. And when this will be prime because a new Q and a new P. So it just add a prime on top. Every time I get a new shape, it just add an next prime on top of it. So you see that I'm saying prime, 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 prime. So PQR is one shape, P prime, Q prime, and S prime is a nut shape, but it's stem from the same. It just slide a different place on the grid. It's the same thing. So don't get confused if you see prime. You can't use the same letter because it's no longer the same shape because it's in a different position. Alright, so the next one is say OPQ. So we know we're starting with the original shape, and there goes a reflection, the line y is equal to 0. So remember, the line y is equal to 0 means that cutting y at 0. So the line that cutting y at 0 is the x-axis. This is the line y is equal to 0. Because this is the line that cutting y at 0. So if you see something with the line y is equal to 0, that is the x-axis. The line x is equal to 0 now. This side is the y-axis. That is the x-axis. So don't get confused if you see that. So there you go. So they said it's reflecting, it's in the y-axis and you're reflecting this shape here, OPQ. So that's like the reflection that I told you all. You just need to know the distances of each point from the line, the mirror line, and that's reflected over on the next side. So if P, there's Q here, right? So if I go into Q, there's Q. And Q is one block away from the mirror line. So if I'm running it across, this would be it here. Alright, and if I go to P, P is 2 blocks away. So if I mirror P, it would be right here. Alright, and it's no more points to mirror, so you just connect your lines. Alright, and that's the shape. What's the label of the shape? You see how they use the prime? So there's the third shape on the diagram, so they use 2 sets of prime. So this will be Q prime prime, and this will be prime prime. There's a new shape. Alright, and that's the question. Alright, so what was the next one? So there you go, same concept. So the first thing I want us to do is say the coordinates of R. So R is this point here. So R on the X is 0 and on the Y is 3. Okay, so this is 0, 3. Okay, so that's that P is a reflection of PQR in the line Y is equal to 1. So let's find the line Y is equal to 1. So the line Y is equal to 1 is a line that cuts the Y-axis at 1. So this is the y-axis and this is 1 here. So it cuts any y-axis at 1. So this will be the line right here. So that's a mirror line. So let's reflect it just like before. The distance from each point from the line have to be the same on the other side. So this is 1 here. So that is R is 2 blocks away. So if I reflect it 2 blocks away on the next side, it will be here. So this will be R prime. Alright, and P is 1 block away. So if I reflect it on the other side, it will end up being here. So this will be P prime. And let's see Q. Q is 1 2, 3. Just 4 blocks away from the mirror line. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I reflect on the next side, 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll be right here. And everything done, so this will be Q prime. So since everything done, I could just connect the dots. Alright, and that is the mirror, or reflection, the line y is equal to 1, right? There's the line y is equal to 1 here. Alright, so, and then now you're reflecting, so the one P prime prime Q prime prime, and a reflection of P prime Q prime R prime in the line x is equal to 0. So remember, x is equal to 0 is a line that cuts in the x at 0. And remember, that is just the y-axis. Alright, so if I reflect it, same thing. So the y-axis is the mirror line. So if you notice, R not going to change because it's already on the axis. So let's see how far P is. So P, there's 2 blocks away. So if I come, yeah, that'll be right here. And if I go over to Q, Q is 2. So if I put it across, this will be it right here. So now if I connect it, that'll be it right there. Alright, so that's those 2 questions. Describe fully the transformation. So basically how they went from P prime prime onto PQR. So if you go back, P prime prime, that is the shape here. And the way to go back. So basically, a transformation is basically a slide. Alright, anytime here. So how do we move? So if you look at it, just pick a point. Once you pick one point, the transformation for that point is the point that the transformation that all the points went under. So you don't need to go and do it for all. Just pick one point and do it for one. And the transformation for that is the transformation for all. Because all of them need to be moved the same amount of spaces for the shape of the thing to be the same. So if I pick P, so each point have a different thing. So let's go. So P prime to P. Oh, what I want. So P prime to P. So P went 1, 2, 3 spaces up. See now 3 spaces up. 1, so it went 1. Right here so you can see. So it went 1, 2. So P prime to P. It went 2 spaces, 2 up. So what is Q prime to Q? So P prime to Q will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 up. And then R, so R prime to R. So R went 1, 2, 3, that's 4 up. And that is the transformation, right? So you're just going to tell them that P prime to P is 2 up, Q prime to Q is 8 up, and R prime to R is 4 up. Alright, so now they tell us the enlargement. So PQR is undergoes an enlargement of a scale factor 2. Calculate this area. So to do this, we first need to know what the enlargement is. So, but they told us that I want the area. And remember, think about it. If I make something bigger, that means the area will increase by the same factor. Alright, so all I need to do for this question is find the amount of blocks in the first one and just multiply it by 2. Because that area also will increase by the same scale factor. So if I go back to the original shape, which is this here, PQR, so let's see. So there's 1 block here. There's the sun just gonna make 1 block and like 1 block. So like 3 blocks. So this is like 1. Alright, this is 2. Not 2, no, that's not 2. This is 2. That half and half will make 2. And this one will make 3. This is a whole block. So like 3 blocks here. So if the scale factor is 3, so if you go back, PQR was equal to 3 units. So P prime, so the new one, so the new that is equal to 3 multiplied by the scale factor, because we know it's gonna get bigger. So it will be 6. And that will be the answer. Remember, for the scale factor, it's making it bigger, right? So if I make it bigger, if I multiply the points by 2, that means the area will also increase by 2. Alright, and that was the question. So let's go. Alright, so I think that is enough. You all could try these on your own or send it to you all and we'll talk. Alright, later.